What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about helium. Now, I still think helium can do a hell of a lot. The point that I will make, because obviously there's some things going against helium with recent sort of changes to the network, but fundamentally I think this is looking to disrupt a wireless technology in a way that needs disruption, because obviously major companies hold massive market shares of the internet and of Wi-Fi. So I think what Helium are trying to do could be pretty spectacular. But before I get into that, if you are new to the channel, you're probably going, I don't know who you are, James, don't know why I should listen to you. All fair. So these are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel. They're the first 26 coins I actually owned when I made the channel. And had you just invested $100 into each of these when I release videos about them, and you did everything wrong as an investor, you never sold them, you just sat on them, you bought them, and then you ignored them for 2 years, you'd still be in profit for like 9.2k doing everything wrong. But if you just sold these coins last year like I did when the markets were flying high, that $100 into each could have netted you a profit of 123 grand. It's a massive difference between doing the right thing and the wrong thing. Now, as I said, I sold these off. These are not what I own. If you actually want to see the current my current holdings in my portfolio, you can go to copymycrypto.com. On that site, I share anytime I buy or sell a coin. I release videos on a daily basis talking about the markets, if that interests you. But overall, you know, everyone, like the people that go on the site, want to copy the portfolio. There's a history of success here. I was the only YouTuber in 2020 talking about Phantom. I said Phantom would 100x. I literally created a Udemy course titled The Best Cryptocurrency Investment of 2020, and it was all about Phantom. Said it would 100x or more. It did a 677x. So $1,000 into it, and you'd have been able to buy a very nice house. $2,000, you'd have been a millionaire. Now, I will find another Phantom. I'll find a coin that I believe can do those kind of gains again. But I'm not going to do a Udemy course like last time. I'm just going to go onto the site, tell the members all about it, tell them how much I'm buying, what percentage of my portfolio it is, and they can copy along if they want, and they can make those gains. If you want to make those gains, then you can go over to the website now and read through it. Everything on there as well is verifiable. You can go through the YouTube channel's history. You can see everything that's on there has been said. So go take a look, guys. The link is on screen. So, Helium. Priced at $1.97 right now. Helium is a very interesting project. There's a lot that intrigues me about it as a general concept. So it's decentralized blockchain powered network for IoT devices. So in 2019, the Helium mainnet launched, and it allows low powered wireless devices to communicate with each other and send data across its nodes. The nodes are basically in the form of so-called hotspots, and they're combined, which are a combination of a wireless gateway and a blockchain mining device. So users who operate nodes mine and earn rewards in Helium's native currency. So, you know, proof of work, effectively. 61% of the circulating, 61% of the max supply is actually out right now. So obviously there's still a fair amount to be produced. So Helium has 3 founders. Amir Halim has an active esports and game development background. Sean Fanning, by contrast, is well known for developing Napster, which, if you're unfamiliar, Napster was massive back in the late 90s. It was the way we all used to share music and stuff. And Sean Carey had held multiple development roles prior to Helium, which included advertising optimization firm Ware, which was acquired by PayPal. So they're a team with a real history of success. I mean, Napster was bloody huge. So Helium is looking to improve the communication capabilities of wireless IoT devices. They refer to themselves as the People's Network because, you know, they're decentralized and they're trying to set up the infrastructure for IoT devices. So, like I said, they've got what they call hotspots, and what I quite like about their Explorer is you can actually see worldwide what's happening right now, in terms of like where the network, like where the nodes or the hotspots are running. They run live info as well. So in the last 24 hours, 34.3 million messages sent on IoT devices. Messages sent in the last 30 days, nearly a billion. There's nearly 1 million hotspots as well. In terms of 5G radios, there's 7,605 of them as well. And then you can see the actual data about the overall HNT price and everything else. 30 million of them are currently staked, which is 30 million of, I think, 134 million, so about a quarter, give or take. So Helium, it's analytics, it's wireless connectivity. The fact that the messages are being sent so often shows that this is a network that is being heavily utilized. And, it's backed by some big names, not least of which is Bill Ackman, which, if you're unfamiliar, he's a billionaire hedge fund manager he's praised Helium's blockchain. He describes it as a valued commodity whose price is determined by supply and demand, while noting its supply is ultimately finite and its demand depends on the success of the network, which is very, very true. It's something that I always try and reference, particularly when we're talking about cryptos. Like whether you're talking about a game or a DApp or anything else. Like if it's a game, if it's a DApp, if it's a DEX, whatever, right? User base is important. So the data is key. The data has to lead decision making when you're looking at something. So what I would be doing with regards to Helium is watching very carefully to see if the data is changing, or the picture of Helium is changing. So in particular, I'd be looking at how does that internet, how is the IoT device messages, how is that changing over time? Is that improving? Is that getting better? And even if it's just a case of coming back every month, just having a look, that's worthwhile doing, because if you are noticing that over a month-on-month period, we're seeing greater uptake in terms of messages sent, we're seeing more data-only hotspots, we're seeing more hotspots in general. If you're starting to see that the data is showing that the user base is increasing, Helium has value. Helium has immense value. If it's building month on month, that's what's key. And that's something that you really, really should be paying attention to with regards to Helium. Because there's potential here. There's a lot of potential here. I mean, right now it's got a market cap of 266 million. Now, it hit a price point of around $52.50, $53 in this past year. I do think it can run back up to about $50. One thing that goes against Helium is the recent changes regarding the network. If you're unfamiliar, they moved blockchain. That for me was not necessarily the right call, but you do what you do. Overall, they are trying to change the landscape of IoT, of wireless connectivity. And that massively matters, because right now, the infrastructure that's in place worldwide in terms of Wi-Fi is really run by a very, very small select group of companies. So having something that can reward users that create the hotspots, having something that is truly decentralized, has huge, huge benefits, not least of which is the fact that you won't be subject to the same sort of overall, censorship that we commonly see with particular Wi-Fi providers. So the ability to not be limited in your browsing, in your research, whatever it is huge. Like I'm very much against censorship in every way, and something like Helium is censorship resistant, and that's a huge benefit. This could be a huge benefit, and I think the potential here is massive. Because it's so scalable, it's so cheap, you're actually benefiting from utilizing it, and long term they are growing. Month on month they have been growing, and the best thing that can be done in terms of monitoring Helium is simply to keep monitoring the hotspot changes over the course of time. If we are seeing if the data presents as though there are more users, there are more Wi-Fi hotspots, there are more messages being sent, all of these things are massively positive, and they bode really well for Helium long term. So, guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification as well, so you know when new content is coming out. And guys, if you want to see the coins I own right now, go to copymycrypto.com. On that site, I share my portfolio. I share any time I buy or sell a coin. I have tutorials set up for all the members so that they can see and they can see how to get into crypto if they've never done it before. We have a history of success on this channel. You can see I was the only one in 2020 talking about Phantom. Literally the only one. And I will find another Phantom. And when I do, the members will find out about it. Not a Udemy course, not YouTube. And they'll find out how much I'm putting in, what percentage of my portfolio it will be. And they can copy along and make those gains. 677 times Phantom went up. I will find another, and when I do, the members will be first to hear about it. If you want to hear about it, get in and make those gains. Go read the site. And remember, everything on the site can be checked in the YouTube channel's history. You just have to go there. And that is it from me, guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye.